Hey guys, Carl Cooper here with OnTheBlack.com, here with my MLB 2009 playoff predictions. First, just finished watching an amazing game between the Twins and the Tigers. Probably one of the best games I've seen all season long. My heart goes out to the Detroit Tiger fans out there. If anybody knows how you guys feel, it's us Mets fans after our team collapsed the last two seasons. So sorry that you guys lost, but on to the playoffs now. So going to start in the American League, the ALDS. The first matchup, Yankees and Twins. I'm going to take the Yankees in 4 games here. I just think that they have too much firepower for the Twins, and ultimately they should win that series. Now going to the Red Sox and Angels, I know normally that the Red Sox normally beat the Angels, but for some reason I think that this might be the Angels' year, so I'm going to take the Angels in a close, probably very competitive series, 5 games. I'll take the Angels over the Red Sox. So that leads us to the ALCS and the Yankees and the Angels. I'm going to go with the Angels in either 6 or 7. Again, I think that this might be the Angels' year. They've sort of flown under the radar most of the season. The Yankees, of course, have gotten most of the press. The Red Sox have gotten a lot of the press, but the Angels have had a pretty solid year. I know they struggled a little bit coming down the stretch, but I like the Angels' rotation. I'm not totally sold on the Yankees' rotation going into the playoffs. We all know that Sabathia does not have a good track record in the playoffs. Burnett struggled at times this year. We don't really know what we're going to get from Pettit, whether he's healthy or not, we'll see. And then we don't know what we're going to get from Jabba Chamberlain either. So I'm not really sold on the Yankees rotation. Obviously, the Angels have a lot of experience. They've been there before, and I think that the Angels will represent the American League in the World Series. Okay, now over in the National League, first matchup, Phillies and the Rockies. I like the Phillies in probably 4 or 5 games here. The Phillies are not the same team that they were last year, in my opinion. They're struggling a little bit in the back end of that rotation. I mean, not in the rotation, in the back end of that bullpen. Their starting rotation, the front end of it is pretty strong with the 2 guys there at the top, with Lee and Hamels. So I like the Phillies in 4 or 5. I just think that they've got a lot of grit. I think the heart of a champion will show, and I think the Phillies will get past the Rockies. Now switching over to the Cardinals and the Dodgers, I know a lot of people out there are probably going to pick the Cardinals to go to the World Series. I'm not one of them. I think the Dodgers will beat the Cardinals in 5 games. Torrey's back in the playoffs again. That Dodgers team, those young guys have some playoff experience under their belt from last year. They still have, whether he's the same hitter or not, they still have Manny Ramirez in the middle of that lineup, and if he gets hot, he can carry a team. So I like the Dodgers in 5 games over the Cardinals. In the NLCS, I'm picking the Phillies and the Dodgers. I think that the Dodgers will win that series in 6 games. I just think that it's the Dodgers' time to go to the World Series. Again, Joe Torre running that team. Manny Ramirez in the middle of that lineup. A lot of the young players with some experience under their belt now. I like the Dodgers to represent the National League in the World Series. So if my predictions hold true, it'll be an all-California World Series, Angels versus the Dodgers. As I said earlier in this post, I think that it is the Angels' year this year, so I'm picking them to win it all, win the World Series. Again, they've kind of flown under the radar this year, especially here on the East Coast with the Yankees dominating the headlines and the Red Sox and all that, but for some reason, I just think it's the Angels' year. I've always liked the Angels. I think that they have the best manager in baseball in Socha. I like the brand of baseball that they play. Even though they're in the American League, they play a National League brand of baseball with running and stealing bases and bunting and defense and all that. So I think that this is probably going to be the Angels' year. So I am picking the Anaheim Angels to win the World Series.